Hello, in this video we show you how to set up your LG G2 for the first time and go through the setup or boot sequence on the G2. So we're going to presume first off that you've actually installed a micro SIM card in the side of the device here by ejecting the tray and then inserting that in there. It's not necessary, but it's preferable to have done that before powering the device on. And then turn the device over and press and hold the silver button on the back here for a couple of seconds until you get the LG logo on screen. And the device will boot up. Now, the first boot up sequence is going to take quite a bit longer than future boot ups because of the stuff that we're going to actually have to set up as we go through the procedure of booting the device. So the first screen that we'll come to is where we can select the language. So we can go from the list here and select one of the variety of languages. So you find the one that best suits you, select it. You've got some accessibility options here if you need them. Now I can't go through all of those because that takes some time, but some of these might help you and you can go through and change it from large text, invert the colors, have magnification, change the hearing balance from left to right, whether it rotates the screen, what you can use the buttons for, and the text to speech output. You can also make an emergency call if you've got a SIM card. Here you press the emergency call and you dial the number, so you can use that in a worst case scenario. But once you're happy with the language selection, click next. You'll then have the option to select the button layout, so it's whatever is of preference to you. So select the one that you're happy with and click next. You'll then be given the option to set the internet connection. So this could be your mobile network or Wi-Fi, so we can turn both of these on preferably. You may not want to turn mobile network on if you don't have a data plan on your device. Now, by turning the Wi-Fi option on, it's now gone and searched for wireless networks that we have in range, and you'll see here that the majority have got a little padlock next to them, and that means that they're secured and we'll need to enter a password. The ones without a padlock will be unsecured and anyone can access them. So this is the one that we want to access, so we tap on it and it's then going to ask us to enter the password, which I'm going to do just out of shot. So I've entered that through the on-screen keyboard, but you can see here that it's actually grayed out. It hasn't come up with the connect button. That means there's an error in the password. So I'm going to delete it and start again. So when there's enough characters in the password like there are now, it's given me the option to connect. So I press on that and it will go off and connect to the network, and it's connected. If there were the right characters in the password but it was incorrect, it would come back and tell you and give the opportunity to enter the password again. Now, if your network that you want to connect to isn't showing, you can scroll down the list to add network and enter some of the settings manually. Now, once you've connected to the network, you click next. Now, you don't actually have to have done that. You can skip a lot of these procedures that we're going through, but it's preferable to get the best setup and configuration for you out of the box. So it says, have you got a Google account? Now, it's quite possible that you have. So in that case, you would answer yes. If not, click no, and you can actually set up an account from the device here. So you can get an account or you can skip it entirely. Now, it would explain everything on screen to you about how to get an account. You'd set an email address, a password. It's fairly straightforward and well explained on screen, but I'm going to go not now because we actually have an account here. So get back to this screen and I'm going to go yes. And it's here that we enter our Gmail email address and password. So you type that in here. Going to enter my password out of shot. So once I've entered my password, I click the arrow key. It's going to ask me to confirm that I'm happy to the terms of service and whether I want to keep updated with Google Play. Well, I'm just going to untick that and click OK. Now, depending on your wireless connection speed or your data connection speed will depend on how quickly it takes to connect to it and bring back data. Now, because this account doesn't have a Google Plus profile, it's trying to get me to set one up. Now, you can join Google Plus and it's all explained on screen for you how to do that, but I'm going to click not now in this instance. And then you've got backup and restore. Now, it's advisable to have these ticked because this gives you the greatest flexibility with bringing content to and from your device in the future. It's explained a bit more on screen. It's up to you whether you want it, but most people would have these ticked. You click the next arrow. So now, because I've got those ticked, it's trying to restore as much information as it can from the Google account. It's asking for more information regarding my location, whether I wish to use Wi-Fi, and whether I wish to let Google Apps access my location. So this is up to you. It might be a bit of a privacy thing that you don't want to share your location with people, but sharing your location with apps can actually enhance the overall experience that you get, such as more accurate search results. So make the necessary changes by ticking or unticking the box. When you're happy, click the next arrow. Here you can then change the name of your phone to whatever you like. So it'll put a default one in. I'm just going to call it test. I can edit until my heart's content. Click done, and that's the name set. Now it's going to ask you to accept the user agreements on the device, and you scroll through, click agree to each one, tap the box here. Then once you've done both of those, you go accept. Now you can try and decline them, but basically you're going to have to accept them if you want to really use this device. Now what you're going to get is a series of tips on screen. And because I've got the SIM card inserted now, we're getting notifications about setting up the device for configuration. So once you've got used to the tips, you can either click OK, or if you tap the don't show this again, that tip won't come up again. You click OK, and you can then use the device and then add any additional accounts like Facebook, Twitter, maybe a corporate email account, maybe a Dropbox account. If we scroll down from the top here, we're getting notifications about app updates that are available for the device, some Google updates because I've got my device syncing with my Google account, so you need to follow those appropriately. You may then also get a configuration message from your network provider, but most of the time the device will have automatically detected the SIM card that you have inserted and set your device accordingly. So that's the first setup and boot of the LG G2 and some of the steps that you actually need to go through.